Hello, my dear friends, where are they? Is anyone coming to this live today? Mm-hmm. Let's see who turns up to this live. Is it early? Is it late? Okay, right. Hello, my dear friends. Thank you so much for joining in to this edition of live stream where we catch up with what is going on in the world of our British royals. Let us first wait and see who is going to turn up to this live. Before we start, guys, as we wait for people to turn up, let us first go through the mechanisms of that first very popular statement to say that whatever views you guys are hearing from me here are my own views. And I do invite every single one of you guys to do your own research and try and approve of these messages before you believe in them entirely. But of course, when we come to shows like this, we come to share thoughts, we come to listen to each other, and we just come to learn. So we always want to be learning from the right information, and as well as that taking in the right information going forward. So it is very important, guys, that we be kind to each other, that we still follow the guidelines of YouTube while we are here exchanging views, so that these messages can be received with respect, and also so that they get to reach even more further to those that might benefit from them. So you're welcome to Francis Page Media. This is where you always come to catch up with all the latest in the world of our royals. Today is brilliant out here, and I thought, why not sit out in the garden and enjoy the outdoors. I really, really love the outdoors, guys. Wherever you are watching this live from, let us know how your weekend is going so far, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section below and tell us what you think about these messages that we talk about when we come to these lives. So it's Francis Page here, your host on this live stream, and Francis Page Media is where you are right now, a channel which focuses on royal news and insights with a main theme of helping people understand what our royals are doing out there and the impact that they are bringing to the local communities here in the United Kingdom and the world over. So thank you so much for those subscribers who have just joined us today, and to all of you old subscribers who are the founders of this channel. I'm so grateful, guys, for your support. Tom, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining this live. As always, you're one of those number one fans holding our flag, pushing these messages as far as we can take them. So I'm very grateful to see you here, Tom Taylor. By the way, I've never asked you, Tom, where are you from? Hello, Ralph, my friend. Thank you so much for joining in. So glad to see you as well. And yes, today is Saturday, the 9th of July, a very remarkable day in our royals activities, because they are out there again doing what they do best. And this life is going to be looking at what they have been up to recently, and also sharing with you some insights of those things that are upcoming that might be of interest to you. Uh, um, Ralph from the south coast of England. Ooh, I suppose it's brilliant weather there today. And Tom is from Washington, D.C. again. Yeah, brilliant. Great to see. So we have our subscribers and you great supporters coming from all areas in the world, which is a great thing to see, because then that tells us that these messages are traveling miles and distances to get to you wherever you are. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this live stream. We were supposed to have a live stream 2 days ago, but that did not happen because a lot has been going on my side. I had weddings to attend, and I am also a careers coach on the side. So I travel to universities and higher institutions to deliver careers advice to young people. So as much as I love my royal work and work here on my channel, I've got some other stuff I do as well for a career on the side as a as a careers coach. But anyway, let us get this live started, guys. We are going to look at what has been happening in the world of our royals. Uh, yes, guys, it's great to get to know each other, because obviously this live stream is also for us to get to share what, to learn from each other, get to connect and build bigger networks, and hoping, fingers crossed, hoping we are all going to meet up one day somewhere to throw this big Francis Page media party out somewhere and jubilate the incredible success and growth that we are on. Okay, just a highlight before we go in: the channel is growing. I think we are now nearly 26,000 subscribers. So that is great to see for a small channel like this one, which only started a few months, a few years ago. So we are right on that well needed course of journey. And yes, it should be nice this week, but right now it's raining. Oh, sorry to learn of that, Tom. It's sunny, as you can see here. I'm sat right out of the outside my garden here, so we are very blessed. But again, UK is very, very unpredictable in terms of weather. So 1 minute it's nice and sunny, and then the other minute it's pouring down. We are having hailstorms, but we can only enjoy the weather right now that we have, because we don't know what again is going to happen in the next coming few hours. But yes, straight into it. Let's start off with Prince Charles. Prince Charles has been very, very busy, guys. Very busy. The Prince of Wales. And the reason for Prince Charles being busy recently is because he is now set to step up. He's set to step up and start embarking on that special journey of, becoming the next in line to the British throne. And we know that in recent activity planner, in the recent draw of activities or outline of activities for every royal member, senior royal, Queen Elizabeth's timetable has been scaled back immensely. It has been scaled back drastically because of her mobility issues, because she can't travel longer distances, and also because she can't stand for longer periods of time at a time. So they have slashed her timetable into 3 quarters nearly, because they want her to get that much needed rest that she needs right now, given she is 96 years of age. Yes, Tom, that is really, really well said. Yeah, he started. Yeah, and that is really, really good of you to highlight, actually, staying out of politics. And we know that in leadership we learn every day. It's a learning process. So we have seen for years and years how Queen Elizabeth has been staying away from politics, like you have said, having that silent approach to major political stories that arise, apart from congratulating leaders from being elected into government, and maybe sending condolences to world leaders that have lost their lives. that is pretty much what the Queen was doing. So there is that narrative that the monarch tends to stay away from getting involved in political issues because they come with a lot of controversies. And so that is what Prince Charles is said to start learning to do. Okay? He is going to make a good king without a doubt, Ralph, simply because he has been trained by the best teacher out there in the world. So people suppose he has already seen what Queen Elizabeth has been doing. He has been blessed with being the next in line. Okay, Queen Elizabeth has already confirmed that. She has also certified his wife Camilla as the next queen consort. So really, this superimposes Prince Charles into greater positions as a leader who is going to come next as the king of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. So as we have seen, Prince Charles has been traveling up and down the country. Most recently, he was up in Lancashire. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you so much. And okay, to get done today, yes, I do understand. Wow, Bonnie, I have a wedding as well to go to later on today. So hence I sort of drew this live a little bit earlier than expected, than usual. Yes, Lauren, thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you so much, Bonnie, Lauren, Ralph, Tom, every one of you who is on this live that hasn't let us know where they are. I'm so grateful that you're here, Lauren. Hope you have a great day wherever you are. And Bonnie, I hope you go through your day's activities successfully as well. So we are here obviously trying to wrap up what has been going on in the world of our British royals. And obviously they have been very, very busy. And we thought, let us start off with Prince Charles as the next in line. And of course, also as a sign of respect, because he is going to be the next king. So pretty much we are seeing Prince Charles come out of his shell. We've seen him travel to different regions of the country. Recently, he only came back from Rwanda, where he was there chairing the head of Commonwealth meetings. Again, a great success for Prince Charles. We have seen him deliver speeches. And just to point out as well here regarding speeches, Prince Charles has been named as one of the great speakers of recent times. And we can see this actually with how he's very confident delivering some of these unique speeches he's been delivering in such difficult situations. We saw him travel down to Bahamas a few months back. I think that was later 2021 to see Bahamas become a republic country, okay, go away from the Commonwealth. Such terrible times that he has been. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you. Please, Bonnie, keep our great subscribers up to date there. Thank you so much for chipping in and keeping them in line, and also welcoming them aboard. Lorraine, great to see you. Tom, we've missed you on a number of lives. Great to see you back in. Ralph, great to see you around, my brother. I'm so grateful to have you guys, because without you, I don't know whether this channel would be moving at a pace it is. Okay. Yes, so Prince Charles delivering perfect speeches on these very, very sensitive matters in these different regions of the UK. The times have changed. We know this from Queen Elizabeth to the new times that we are heading towards. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth's days were a little bit more calmer. Okay, I should suppose. Different, but a little bit calmer. Okay, so we are now entering these new times, and now we are seeing Prince Charles. Prince Charles, okay, inherit these new times of the royal family going forward. So he is the man to draw the lines, okay, of what is going to be done moving forward. He's the man to distribute roles amongst senior royals, okay, so he's the man to identify talents, to identify strength within the senior royals, to distribute roles amongst them based on their capabilities and popularity. So he has got to be switched on. But most importantly, he has got to be liked, loved, and respected, not just by the members of the royal family themselves, but by the public, the general public, whether here in the UK and abroad. So that is a great challenge that Prince Charles is sitting right in. But how he has dealt with it is perfect. I think he is right on that great course to take on these challenges. And how he has done that so far is how he has approached is how he has started traveling to these different countries, different areas of UK with much ease, and also with that open approach personality where we are now seeing him come out of his shell more, greeting people, very happy, being sarcastic. His sense of humor has now risen. We've seen him calling Queen Elizabeth Mummy on so many occasions, and now this seems to be his new phrase wherever he goes on and on these very special engagements, because they give him that ability to connect with his audience. Okay, so Prince Charles there has been very busy recently, traveling to all areas. He was up in Lancashire to see the unveiling of the new police service station, fire service station. And of course, when you look at these engagements, very unique in their own ways, but very, very important. Because one would ask why Prince Charles is going to officiate the opening of a fire service station. Very good question to ask. But of course, if you're going to connect with real people, you've got to attend even the smallest of occasions that people will probably think, what's the point? Okay, and this is where you get that real connection down to the local level. It's not just about them traveling to US, to Canada, to those areas, but it's about building that firm foundation starting from here at home. And I think that is what Prince Charles is doing right now. Okay, visiting these localities, meeting people. Recently, he was down in Brixton, which is a minority, which is an area in London with large black communities. Again, these are communities that need to start, that the royal family needs to start engaging with. Okay, and we have also seen that he was in Bahamas, he was in most of all these Caribbean countries to try and show that the royal family is doing whatever it can to support those local communities, especially those that have been alienated for quite some time. So well done, Prince Charles. We are following up on your work, the Prince of Wales. By the way, not forgetting Camilla, Prince Charles's wife, or we would call her the Duchess of Cornwall, who, out of respect, said that she will be comfortable or happy not to be known as the Princess of Wales in honor of Princess Diana. So I think we also applaud Camilla for having that heart of understanding that in such difficult times, okay, and in times when hearts are still healing, she is still able to understand that she knows where she sits in this time and age. And we have seen her support Prince Charles on these engagements. Bless her. She had a few health issues due to COVID, which were really challenging. But the good news is that she's fit and healthy. The Prince of Wales is fit and healthy. And we are going to see more and more of the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles and Camilla engaging with the general public. So thank you guys for that support. And I think that pretty much wraps up what Prince Charles has been up to recently. We know that we are heading into the summer break. So again, Prince Charles will take a back seat, chill out a little bit. And we hear that he might have his grandsons visit him for his grandson, and is it grandson or great grandson? So I'm talking about William and Kate's kids. We hear that they are going to visit Prince Charles and Camilla at some point over the summer holidays, when senior royals start taking their breaks. Okay, so I think we are on to Prince William now and Catherine. Prince William recently and Catherine took part in a polo match. So of course this polo match was organized to raise funding for the organization, so called them patronages that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are owning, or they are the patrons. Very, very important patronages. We know that some of these are dealing with homelessness. We saw Prince William recently visiting Center Point and selling all these new, what is it, big issue magazines on the streets. And these are patronages that they so much believe in. And obviously, we know Princess Diana loved so much supporting these patronages and homeless people and indeed children and women who are suffering. So Prince William inherited this great spirit of his mother, and he is again taking on these patronages. So the polo game or the polo match that Prince William took part in was aimed at raising that much needed funding. Catherine White, great to see you. Thank you for chipping in. Wet and wild winter in Sydney. Ooh, not again, because I thought this time round Sydney is warm, okay? But at least it's not wildfires, so we are good to go. So I hope you're having a great weekend. Catherine, thank you for joining us. We are well into 20 minutes of this live. You know, we always catch up with what has been going on in the world of our royals. Just a brief look at what we've talked about so far. We've talked about Prince Charles and what he's been up to. Right now, we are looking at William and Catherine, and we know that Catherine and William attended a polo match in which Prince William took part in, and Catherine was seen on the sidelines, of course, cheering her lovely husband, and they were raising money for their patronages. Okay. So we learned that they raised nearly well over £1 million, and this money is going to fund activities of their patronages. And so within these patronages, we know that they support women and children, homeless people, women suffering domestic violence, and all sorts of people, babies, unborn mothers with their issues with unborn babies. And I think one of those patronages is Anna Fruit Center, which is Catherine's patronage, very close to her heart. We know that Prince William is also supporting Center Point, a patronage looking after homeless people, and a host of other patronages within that umbrella. So the £1 million that was raised at this polo game is going towards funding these activities. And just to let you know, recent newspapers were writing that where is all this money going, and of course, why is it going? Hi, Bonnie, take care, my friend. Let us know how your day goes, and keep us informed how you get on. Stay hydrated. Yes. Thank you so much for that reminder. And yes, we'll catch up at some point, Bonnie, no worries. Yes, so where was I? Catherine, okay, so, and William, yes. So that money was raised, nearly £1 million was raised to support those patronages. Now, Catherine today is in Wimbledon, obviously, wearing her yellow gown. I think you've seen that already. And she is looking glorious. She was looking really, really glorious in Wimbledon. So she's there to attend the final between the women's lawn tennis final between, what's her name? She's a Tunisian-born tennis player playing against Elena, who is the outstanding Russian lawn tennis player. So it's a very interesting final match for the lawn tennis. And Catherine, of course, as the patron for the Lawn Tennis Association, is always set to look glorious, blessing these games. So this has been the second time she has turned up. Um, for the games this season, and of course she's being picky which games she attends, because of course due to her busy schedule she would not attend all games at the Wimbledon tournament or Wimbledon events. So yes, Catherine Middleton is out today, and those who live around Wimbledon, be keeping your eyes wide open for those royal vehicles, also call it the royal entourage driving past in your locality, taking Catherine back to her premises at Kensington Palace. So she traveled alone today, but of course she will be meeting so many other dignitaries in the royal box. I think some of these include Tom Cruise, who recently premiered his new movie, Top Gun, Maverick, and also Martina Hingis, and most of all these other celebrities very, very close to the royal family. So it's great to see Catherine out today, this afternoon, looking very beautiful in her yellow outfit. And if you followed Catherine, you will also realize that um, Catherine is wearing that yellow dress. I think it's a Roxanda gown. Is everywhere. Okay, she wore this when she was down in, I think, Caribbean for that royal tour with Prince William. You remember when she was arriving at the Jamaican airport and that wind was blowing, very, very strong winds on the airport that nearly blew her dress up. So that's the same dress she's wearing. But I think she's put heavy weights under that dress, and hopefully she won't get any disturbances from, again, these slowly picking up winds here in the UK at the minute. Okay, so that's Catherine, guys, who's out. We also know that the Cambridges are very, very busy this season, but not with engagements, but with the move out. They are trying to arrange a move out from Kensington Palace to Windsor, a move that is going to happen over this summer. So they have a lot of things to put in place, of course, including changing school for the royal children. This is Prince George, Charlotte, Louis, from the Battersea School in London, which was closer to Kensington Palace, to finding a new school for their kids in Windsor. So as they move their residence from Kensington Palace, London, to Windsor, so should they start arranging, or indeed they have already started those processes of changing school for the children. And some of you parents who are watching this live will know how dreadful, or how very daunting it can be trying to find a school for your kids, especially halfway, the year as it is right now. So September start is going to be a new start for the children in a new school somewhere around Windsor. I think the royal family has already identified where the kids will be going, so we won't worry a lot about that. Okay. Yes, but as well as that, we know that their main reason for moving to Windsor is because they want to be closer to Queen Elizabeth. And they are not going to move out of Kensington Palace completely. Okay, so they are moving their residence, but they will still be working from Kensington Palace. So I think they are going to be commuting to work, as we pretty much saw Queen Elizabeth's transition from Buckingham Palace to Windsor. And, if there are engagements that she's supposed to take on from Buckingham Palace, it's a case of traveling down on the day. Hi, Lily. Thank you so much for joining in half hour into this live. Great to see you. Thank you so much for carrying the flag for Francis Page Media. Okay. And yeah, please keep chatting away, guys. I really love to see that. Lauren, Ralph, you guys are amazing. Tom, thank you so much. Everybody who is on this live, you are all great, in pushing and supporting these messages. So yes, so the Cambridges are moving down to Windsor. Such a very, very important move. By the way, guys, if I go forward, Can I just send a humble request to you guys to tell me whether my sound is perfect or whether it's great, because I don't know. Recently, my sound was a bit blurry. So tell me in the comments if my sound is great, and if not, so I might think of how to adjust this sound so you can hear me properly. So just give me a thumbs up in the comments section if my sound is great. Okay. Yes. So the Cambridges. Yes, so the Cambridges are moving to Windsor, and we know that Windsor is the home of Queen Elizabeth at the moment, and Queen Elizabeth will need that support going forward. Okay, so the movement of the Cambridges to Windsor is also one way of moving the Cambridges household closer to Queen Elizabeth, and of course, that means they can always chip in as of when to offer that support when it's needed. The kids can just cross over to see their grandmother and rather great grandmother, but also Windsor is a bit more quiet to raise a family for the for the Cambridge's children who are still very young. Okay, Ashan, thank you so much for joining this live halfway through it, but great to see you. And thank you for carrying the flag for Francis Page Media always. Hope wherever you are is great. And yes, we are laughing here in the UK because the weather is absolutely fantastic. Yes, so why Windsor? So the Cambridges have moved to Windsor to be closer to the Queen. That's one of the first reasons, but also to raise their children in a much more quiet environment. So they will be traveling back and forth, for work, because their office is pretty much still based in uh, at Kensington Palace. So they are due to take a summer break in the Cambridges, and over this summer we have learned that there is a lot of activities in the background. So the moving the household down to Windsor, to Windsor, but also finding a new school for the children, for their children. And as well as that, they are due for a summer holiday, summer break. So we are not very sure where they are going to take that summer break, but it's somewhere nice and sunny, I suppose. But I will keep you up to date with all that. But what we should know at this point is that all royals are due for a summer break. And William and Kate usually take theirs first because the kids have to come back for school in ample time. Okay, so that's pretty much regarding Catherine and William. Again, they have been very busy. Where Catherine is out this evening, call it this afternoon. She's at Wimbledon to officiate or to see the final between that Tunisian lawn tennis player and the Russian-born Elena, which is taking place in Wimbledon right now. And we know Catherine is at Wimbledon because she is the patron for the Lawn Tennis Association. Such a prestigious honor that she has. And of course, a role that she has carried on perfectly over the last few years. Now, Princess Royal Anne has also been busy, and we know Sophie, Edward, they've all been busy in their own patronages and, of course, traveling left, right, east, north, center of the country again to represent the Queen in their various roles. Now, across the Atlantic to Meghan and Harry, we also know that Meghan apparently went for that summer break together with her husband Prince Harry in Wyoming, which is a state on the outskirts of the United States. Very, very quiet. But I think they were also there partly because of the 4th of July, which is American Independence Day. But we learned that the reason for them going down there. Oh, were you? Okay, Ralph, great to know. Berkshire is a great place, isn't it? Very, very great. Windsor, very quiet, very posh, very respectful, and indeed, what a special place for royals to be living. Okay, very expensive, very, very expensive. But again, you would understand why. Yeah, so back to the Meghan and Harry's. They in America, of course, we know there's a lot going on in their lives, full of controversies, and also we know that Meghan was trying to launch her bid into standing for the presidency of the United States, and many think the reason she turned up to these events in Wyoming to mark the 4th of July was because she is starting to set herself up for that political position that is coming up as a candidate for the Democratic Party elections due to start very soon, because we know that 2024 Americans will be nominating or electing their new president. So yeah, this pretty much sets the tone for all candidates to start that campaign and going into their local communities to start looking for votes. So Meghan apparently is set to stand, whether that's true or not, but we know she has very much got her sights onto becoming an American president in the coming few years. But many are saying this might not be 2024 because it's so early for her to take on that challenge. But as well as that, she has to clean her image up, because as we know, her image isn't the best, with all those allegations that she disclosed in that famous Oprah Winfrey interview. But also she has a lot to settle with her family, and later on with the royal family in which she married Prince Harry. So many questions, of course, will be raised if she stands as an American president, because you have to answer all these difficult questions. And people believe this isn't the right time for her to show up. And although she's very ambitious with going forward with her presidency ambitions, many still think she doesn't even stand a chance, including myself. Okay, unless she cleans her image and unless she changes her personality completely, because I think where she stands now at an all-time low in terms of popularity, I don't see her stand a chance of winning the American presidency, unless the Democratic Party in the United States is very desperate for somebody to carry their flag in those upcoming 2024 American elections. I don't see Meghan myself winning that election, later on the one that will come next. Because to win the American elections means that you are popular, first and foremost, with people in all the right ways. It means you have done some considerable amount of work via in the grassroots, as we saw Barack Obama right from the start in his local communities doing stuff, but also taking that steady approach to things, not that rushing into things now like we see Meghan doing. Okay, we know that she has taken on mentors to prepare her for the campaigns and for this leadership position. And amongst those, we know Harris Kamara, who is the Vice President of the United States. And we also learned that she's now talking to Hillary Clinton and also a few other Democrats to try and give her a bit of wisdom on how she could harness elections to become the next US president. But they too believe it's too early for her to even start thinking of taking on such great ambitions or such heavy ambitions like that. But again, it shows us what Meghan is, okay? Always wanting to hit that ground running, something which already cost her a lot back here in UK when she married Prince Harry, and within minutes or within a month, okay, out of the UK into United States, now wants to take on this heavy leadership position. So it leaves the question burning as to whether she's getting into these positions to use them to launch her, again, upcoming big ambitions in life. Okay? So yes, that's it with Meghan and Harry. They are in United States, and recently they were in Wyoming. Photographs surfaced online of Meghan, Harry, and Archie Harrison in Wyoming. I think these photographs were taken by revelers and they were shared over the internet. And many people are starting to say they were there simply because, again, they wanted to launch their bid into, of course, we know Meghan becoming a Democratic Party candidate. So she wanted her to be more, to get noticed in Wyoming, where the Americans were celebrating the 4th of July. Okay, so we know that some of the big challenges they have posed to Meghan, and these are most of the these are things that her advisors have been telling her recently, is that she has to come back here in UK and make up with the royal family first and foremost. And I think that is one of the biggest things she needs to start doing right now. But whether that will be possible, nobody knows, because we know where Meghan sits in terms of the British royal family and the British public. But also we know how the royal family cannot trust her going forward. Okay, so and also coming back to sort out things here with the royal family, because she wants to stand as the next leader, as a Democratic Party candidate, is not going to sit down too well with the royal family, because we know how much, okay, because we know how much the royal family does not support political ambitions of anybody in the royal family or anybody who has ever been in the royal family going forward. Because somewhere, somehow, the royal family knows that there will be rules that will be broken down the line. Okay, so again, that puts Meghan in a very difficult situation, you know, and I don't see those talks of making up with the royal family taking any meaningful shape, based on the fact that she will be doing it because she wants to clear her name to go and stand as the leader in United States. Okay, and the other challenge that she has to overcome, or she thinks she has to do, is to again make up with her own family. Because if you're to stand as president, these questions are going to be raised. Well, how will you solve disputes on a higher level as a president if you can't deal with your own family issues? Okay, so that is another challenge she has to overcome, which is a huge, huge challenge, given the fact that Meghan, as we know her, is somebody who I don't think who can engage in any meaningful negotiations, because she so much, or she very much wants to ride on that concept of victimization, on that concept of, you know, they did this to me, they did that to me. She sees herself as using that sort of card, or playing by that card to get where she is. And we know very much how she played that game again to get out of the royal family. So unless she changes her approach completely, I don't see her succeeding in any meaningful talks to bridge those bridges that she has broken with people she has worked with in the past. And of course, for Prince Harry, again, with Meghan going forward with these political ambitions, it leaves us worrying where Prince Harry will be sitting in this. And then, as well as that, it means that Prince Harry will now pretty much become what a queen consort would be here. He would pretty much become somebody who is going to probably be carrying Meghan's bags wherever she goes, and becoming a husband wife at home. Okay, and we've already seen these things happen even before Meghan gets to those political places. We've seen how she's already leading, wearing the pants in their marriage, while Harry's following on. So we don't know whether that is going to be a good thing for Harry. Okay. Mm. Mm. You're very right, Ralph. You're very, very right. I don't see this image of hers being cleaned up Not sooner, at least not in the next coming few years, okay? Unless she changes her approach to life, unless she changes her behavior, okay? I see more chances of her coming back to UK here and living here, okay? And committing to being a wife, okay, respecting the royal protocol and everything, than actually becoming a president, US going on, because what the damage she has caused and the things she has brought back onto herself are things that cannot easily be cleaned, okay? The royal family is a forgiving family, we know that. So she could come back here together with Harry. Okay, they could find them. Well, they already have a cottage in Frogmore. Okay, I do struggle to really, like, really sad. I think a lot has happened. Not sure it's ever be the same. Absolutely, Lauren. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Lauren, and you're not alone. So these days, you actually think, right? Okay, can we get them back into our good books? I'm talking about Meghan and Harry. But how? So you try to look at ways in which you can accept them back, but it's very difficult simply because every day that passes, they do something strange. Every day that passes, you know, they don't look back to see, right, how can we clean up our past going forward? How can we make up for our mistakes? Okay, we already hear that there is a second interview that is coming up between them and Oprah Winfrey. And we don't know what these intentions are. So it looks like they haven't learned from the past, because already that interview they did had so many loopholes, and it exposed them as very unthankful, very ungrateful couple they are, and a couple that bashed their family left, right, center. And there they are again launching into a second interview. We hear whether this is also going to still be talking about some of those things they talked about last time, or whether this time round they are going to be talking about something different. But what we are very sure to hear is a question being asked to them of where they sit in terms of their relationship with the royal family. I guarantee you that question will still pop up. And again, we shall expect a bit of going on with things that are not true in an attempt to answer that question. Okay? So, it is very unfortunate, you know, to see them lead the life they are leading right now, because we think they would have been a great asset to the royal family had they respected royal protocol, had they not done what they did, and had Meghan stayed humble, okay, and did what Catherine Middleton is doing right now, okay, respecting the royal family, respecting Her Majesty the Queen, taking on these royal duties diligently, connecting with people at a personal level, like we see the Cambridges are doing, okay. I think Meghan and Harry would have been a great asset, and they would have learned a lot from William and Kate. And we know how Kate was very, very ready to show Meghan the way. She welcomed her in. We saw how she took Meghan with her to that to Wimbledon for the Lawn Tennis Association games in those very first few engagements when Meghan had arrived, and how Catherine was directing Meghan, showing her this. Okay. But then what did we get? We got somebody who talked whatever she did against them, turning her back against those very people who elevated her, who welcomed her, who supported her, who gave her that soft landing in the family. Okay? See how Prince Charles offered to walk Meghan down the aisle on her wedding day, big, big day in her life. Prince Charles offered to do that because Meghan could not put her family together to get her dad come down here and do that honor on behalf of her daughter. So we got Prince Charles to do that for her. And what happened? Meghan turns around and said whatever she did against Prince Harry's family, including Prince Harry's dad, Prince Charles, who very much offered that support. We all saw in front of national telly. Okay, so what can you make of Meghan? Okay, what can you make of Meghan? Okay, everybody should have their freedom of speech. Yes, Lauren, thank you so much for saying that. But let us use that freedom to say things that are right. Let us use that freedom to protect privacy. Let us use that freedom to appreciate people around the world, to appreciate those who helped us, but not that freedom, not using our personal freedoms to bash everybody. Okay. And for your information, guys, everybody who loved Meghan so much, everybody who loved Harry so much, is today disliking these two so much, simply because of how they turned around against their own family. Let us face it, if there is a wrangle going on, okay, if there is an issue going on in the family, the best way to always resolve that issue is through talking as a family, sit down, air out these views in front of the family, say everything you want to say, okay, and see how the family can support you, or they can make up things, or they can clean themselves going forward. But I think that approach they took of saying these things in front of cameras was the worst approach anybody would ever take. And I think that is where they went wrong. That is why they are so disliked. Okay? And they don't seem to learn from their past, because looking at what they plan to do, it looks like they are not listening to anyone. Okay? With that upcoming second Oprah Winfrey, allegedly, okay, you ask yourself, where are the lessons learned here? With Prince Harry's upcoming memoir, with the insights of what he's going to talk about, you ask yourself, has Prince Harry learned from the past? Okay? Now we hear that Prince Harry is insisting on taking Her Majesty to court because of that denial of security when he was here for the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Again, you would ask yourself, why? What is the point of doing that? Dragging your own grandmother to court when you know she's living in these days that are supposed to be stress-free, okay? You ask yourself, is he for real? Yes, he's suing the Metropolitan Police for and the royal family for denying him that security while he was here. But did he need that security when he pretty much was moving together with all the other royals? Okay? And you question as to whether these decisions are made by Harry himself, or if there is somebody behind Harry who is forcing him, or who is telling him to do these things, to launch into these programs, to make these dreadful decisions he is making today. Okay? It's very, very unfortunate to see these things happening on the side of the Sussexes. In these days, very, very important days for Her Majesty to be resting, because let us not forget, Queen Elizabeth is still the head of state. He's still very much the monarch. Okay, so when these cases are taken into court, these are cases against her. So at her old age, you wouldn't want things like this to even surface in front of her, because we don't want her to worry a lot. You know, absolutely, absolutely, Lauren. Okay. At this point in time, if I was Meghan and Harry, okay, something I would be doing right now is trying to look for all the possible ways I could say sorry, I could come back here and try to build that bridge back up between himself and his family here, the royal family. Okay? Yes, he has chosen to move to United States. Whether that was his decision or whether that was Meghan's decision, okay, that does not concern us because we very much know they are married, okay? So any decision they take between themselves is a decision married people take, and they are a couple, would respect that. But what we would like to see is to see that they stop doing whatever they do against the royal family across the Atlantic, because these things are not looking good for the royal family, okay? And the more they do this, the more they destroy their chances of, or they limit their chances, limiting would be the right word here, they limit their chances of success in all these projects that they are set to be taking on. We know they had signed so many Netflix projects. Meghan had signed a deal with Penguin book, as this is a book organization, they write books and all that. So Meghan had signed a very big deal with them to produce storybooks for young kids. But these projects were all cancelled. Netflix is cancelling all these upcoming projects. We know how Spotify stopped their upcoming podcasts, and all of this in the name of their controversies. Okay, so guys, in the comments section below, tell me what you think about these stories emerging, okay? And also, if you have any thoughts you can share regarding where you think the Sussexes are moving forward, leave them in the comment section below, okay? But it's been wonderful, guys, having you on this live again. I know we talk about these conversations every day, and every live stream we have here will always feature a 20 minutes on Meghan and Harry, because we want them to change. We want them to become good people, okay? We don't wish them bad things, because that is not what we are made of. We want them to do well. However, if we are going to have those good reservations for them, so must they change, okay, to start behaving in the way royals are supposed to behave, embodying or emulating the great name of Queen Elizabeth rather than breaking it down, okay, repairing those relationships between themselves and the royal family, because we know the children they are raising are going to be children that have their relatives here. William and Catherine's children are cousins to the children of Prince Harry and Meghan. The more the Meghans distance themselves, the more they deny these royal young children from connecting. Okay, it's their future that they are distorting. Okay, so when we engage in conversations like these, we want to see these things, we want to see them change and start leading a life that is going to be helpful to not only royals but also the world. Okay, so guys, my phone is warning. I think it's the battery, which is nearly going man down. So I don't want to end on a sad note with the battery disappearing amidst my life here. But thank you so much, guys, who have stayed here to the end. Thank you so much for the conversations and for those great thoughts. Please stay subscribed. We have so many big stories coming up, including William and Catherine's birthday, joint birthday. I think this is going to be done over the summer break, okay, when it's a lot less quieter with engagements. So please stay tuned. we shall be bringing these details as we get the developments coming through. Queen Elizabeth is taking a bit of a slow approach to her duties these days. Her duties were slashed down immensely because they want her to take that much more needed rest. And of course, we have seen Prince Charles traveling across the country to try and launch himself forward, especially as he is very due to become the next king of the throne. Okay. Yes, Lauren, thank you so much for asking. So I don't do Facebook, but I am on TikTok as Francis Page Media. So if you go to TikTok, type in Francis Page Media, there you are. You will see my account all singing and dancing. I use the same profile photo on TikTok, my face in the back in a red background, so you will see that there. So please, Lauren, thank you so much for asking. Please find me on TikTok and follow me. I'm on Instagram as Francis Page Media as well, although I'm starting out on Instagram recently. So again, I'm building these social media channels. I'm very soon going to introduce some extra buttons here on YouTube, again, for you guys to drop any message of thanks you can, but also to always leave your highlights or messages you want me to talk about in those upcoming lives. But I do live streams every 3 days, every after 3 days. Um, so expect an update of an upcoming live through the community tab here on YouTube, just to let you know that I will be doing that live at a certain time. But other than that, guys, I will say bye-bye to you before the phone goes off, as the battery is really, really warning. But thank you so much for joining us again. If I thank you, Lauren, for your great responses, Ralph, for your great responses again. Um, uh, Tom, if you're still on this live as well, thank you so much for staying around. Ashan, Stacy, Lily, thank you so much. And yes, every single one of you are here. Bonnie left earlier. Karen hasn't come today, but I think she has been very busy. Fiona is also a regular visitor on these lives. But thank you guys for your support. Lauren, Ralph, um, Tom, I hope to see you back here again in 3 days' time for those lovely conversations that you have been putting up here on our wall of comments. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate your encouragement. I appreciate your positivity that you bring to these messages. Let us carry on carrying the flag of Francis Page Media. Our subscribership is growing constantly. A message again to us that we are doing some awesome work here. But it's not because of me, it's because of your support for these royal messages. So please keep subscribed so that you stay up to date to all the latest in the world of our British royals. Have an awesome evening. Have a great rest of the weekend. Let us catch up again soon. Bye bye, guys.